picked up my phone one day and decided to create a page. So that's how it started.
Hello everyone and welcome. This is Nehal Shukla from Team Adgully, and today with me I have a dynamic and an accomplished individual with a diverse background in both legal field and a digital influencer. Welcome, Tanya.
Thank you so much, Nihal. Thanks for having me here on Adgully.
You're most welcome. So, Tanya, I want to know one quick thing. How did Tanya Appachu become our Insta lawyer, and how did it all start?
Like any other lawyer out of law school, I obviously wanted to have a very traditional practice or, get into corporate. So that's what I did for a couple of years. I have about 7 to 8 years of experience as a lawyer. I used to be with PricewaterhouseCoopers as a tax consultant before. And I've also been in the Jodhpur High Court. But then the pandemic happened, and around the same time, I started my family. So I had a kid, and the traditional legal work was kind of difficult at that point of time, and I was consuming a lot of social media content as a consumer. I was watching a lot of reels and I was watching a lot of YouTube content, and I'm like, you know what, I think I can do this too. So at that point of time, there were lawyers on YouTube who were teaching students, like teaching law to the students, but there were no content creators who were making content for general citizens of India, like for the laymen. So I thought ke chalo matlab ye bhi zaruri hai. There were doctors and there were psychiatrists making content, and I said maybe legal content would work. So after many years of proper work experience, I decided, it's my time to start something and make content. So I picked up my phone one day and decided to create a page. So that's how it started. I think it was more something was like, there was necessity for me because I needed to do something for myself. And also there was a gap, there was a gap where we have the law, which is accessible only to lawyers and accessible only to people who are in that industry, but not accessible to the general citizens who actually need to know, because it is for them, right? I mean, the law of the country is for everyone. So there was a gap, and there was a need to bridge that gap, and there was a need to fulfill my desires of doing something comfortable for me at that point of time, stay at home and create something for myself. And that's how your Insta lawyer started.
That's so good to hear. But 2023 has started now. And how has the start of the year treated you? What are your plans or goals that you have set for this year? Will we see something different, or how it will be?
Yeah, so I have had a good start because I pretty much spent the second half of last year not physically very well. So right now I feel quite fresh and up and ready to go. So yes, of course, to be back in the content creation game, to be, I mean, you need to make content all the time, right? The minute you stop for a second, you're out of the picture, kind of a thing. To be consistent is, of course, one of my goals. I also want to work on, something like a podcast. That's somewhere in the back of my mind that I definitely I'm working on for maybe in the second half of the year, I'd be able to launch something. So yeah, that's on my cards right now. Yeah.
When you say podcast, what kind of podcast do you plan to do?
Yeah, something, of course, in the legal, giving the legal angle itself, and of course, something similar to my Instagram page, but of course, more long format, interactive.
Where you invite guests and...
Yes, I'm hoping I can pull off something like that.
Well, hope so. When it comes to law, there are so many amendments going on each and every year. How do you stay up to date with the latest trends and the technology? Also, since you're a digital creator, how do you include all this in your digital creation as well?
See, I wouldn't call myself a general content creator because I have to, as a professional, have to first, I am a lawyer first. I cannot be giving out, wrong information, something that is not credible. So yes, even if I'm talking for 30 seconds or if I am putting information that lasts 10 seconds or 15 seconds, I do considerable amount of research. I do considerable amount of backtracking to see, if there are any changes in what I'm saying. If there is a law, there's a judgment that's passed which says otherwise. Because one, people are quick to point out. I do have other fellow lawyers also follow me. Second, I personally feel morally obligated to give out the right and correct information to people, because even if you're watching a reel and it's a legal information, it's something that would probably affect your actions or affect your life. It's not something you're watching for just purely entertainment. So I do feel obligated to ensure that the right information is given out. So yes, I spend a lot of time reading. I spend a lot of time researching before a script is made for any video. So yeah.
Okay. And which is the one most common advice that people come to you for, or they have consulted you that, okay,
I
this
think
is the one thing.
I think relationships and marriage has to be the most that people reach out to me for. I think it's something that affects pretty much anybody in today's
Uh,
world. So that's the most. Second, I would say maybe employment related. Like people are pretty clueless when they get into jobs, especially the 22 to 26 age group, the first jobs, and they're not getting it right. So I do get a lot of employment related queries or consults. So those have to be the top two. And yeah, there are more, but these are the top two.
Okay. And how do you see the content creators economy growing? Do you think that there might come a stage where people might think that there's content everywhere and there will be a saturation point for the audience as well who's consuming this content? So how do you think, how will the content creator economy grow?
I feel, I feel that consumers come and go.
Hmm.
So as many consumers are getting saturated at today, and they probably are, as a personally, I'm saying I would like switch off my Instagram. Like, oh, I'm done with Instagram. I don't want to consume content anymore.
Hmm.
But for that many people, there are that many more people joining the bandwagon of consuming content. So I don't see this getting saturated anytime now. Maybe a particular format might get saturated. For example, people are sick of watching 30-second reels. That might go, but content by itself is going to remain. Like, people might move into podcasting, people might move into creating longer format videos. Something absolutely new might come up in the future, but I feel content will be consumed in some way or the other. That's not going to go away. It will probably take on different forms, based on which we content creators also have to you know move on with the times. But it is here to stay. It's not going away. Maybe a few years down the lane, a big boom might happen, and it might just go off, but not right now. I don't see that happening right now.
Okay, that said, I want to know from you who are your favorite content creators or what kind of content do you like to watch?
It depends on my mood. Sometimes I like mindless, funny content that just makes me laugh. But I also like to consume things that make sense. So my favorite educational content creators have to be Dr. Cutis and Finance with Sharon.
Okay.
And I like, I can't remember her name, but she's a fashion content creator, and she's really pretty. She's got about 1 million followers. I can't remember her name.
Nobody.
Yeah, so I like her. Why can't I remember her name? Okay, so amongst educational content creators, these two. I also like humor when I'm consuming content.
Mhm.
So there's this new chick on the blog. Her name is Arya. I don't think you would know her. She's quite new.
Okay.
She's damn funny. So yeah.
Okay. And can you share your some of the proudest moments as a creator for Instagram?
Uh, I would say three proud moments. One has to be when my first reel went viral. I think it was kind of a validation for me that yes, people are consuming legal content on Instagram. I mean, people are open to consuming that. I thought I would probably get bashed for making, people usually look at law as something very boring, and
Yeah.
that's not, you wouldn't think of Instagram as a platform for it at the start. But the fact that one reel went viral and people really had good things and bad things to say, but at least got the attention of people,
Huh.
I think that was one of my proud moments. Second has to be that last year I was part of the Levi's Shape Your World campaign. I was one of the protagonists there. Uh, so that was a great experience to be a part of an ad campaign and see how the different industry works. And that was again a proud moment for me. And recently I was a part of the Forbes top 100 digital creators list this year as a change maker. And I think I really love the fact that they identified the kind of work that I am doing to be changing people's lives or impacting people's lives. So that was another definitely a memorable and proud moment for me. So I would say these
There
top. Yeah.
Well, these are really proud moments that you had. And with that, you have so many other responsibilities as well. You are a lawyer, you are a mother, you are a creator. So it requires a mantra for a daily routine. For my next question, I would like to know what is your daily mantra as a woman?
Daily mantra is to just get up, get going, and make every day count.
Okay, that's I think a motivation for each and every one of us.
I can assure you that time flies. I'm in my 30s, so time just flies. So just make every day count. That would be it.
Lastly, I would like to know from you a message that you would like to extend for aspiring lawyers or aspiring Insta lawyer.
uh, I would like to remind all the aspiring Insta lawyers that we are lawyers first and content creators next. So always take your profession seriously and always ensure credibility for your profession, credibility in the things you say, and make whatever you're making, whatever content you're making for everybody count. So I think that's something I would like to tell everyone.
All right, Tanya, thank you so much. It was wonderful talking to you. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Nehal. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.